Okay, fine. Okay, so yesterday we have started logic families, but it was like much disturbance was there. So just a 5 to 10 minutes, I'll review that and we will move on to the logic families. Okay, different logic families. I'll explain their operation and all. Okay. So yesterday also we have solved many Boolean expressions by taking few examples. Okay. So what is a logic family? Logic family is a combination of many logic circuits, and a logic circuit is a combination of different gates. Okay. And we have many integration levels: SSI, MSI, LSI, VLSI, and ULSI, ultra large scale integration. SSI, which has 12 gates per chip, and MSI will have 100 gates per chip. LSI will have 1000 gates per chip, and VLSI will have 10,000 gates per chip, and ultra large scale integration has 1 lakh gates per chip. Okay, so nowadays we are using VLSI and ULSI technology. Okay, so because of this integration only, we are becoming more, the devices are becoming more smarter and smarter. Okay, next next classification also we have seen. So logic families are divided into two types: bipolar logic family and unipolar logic family. So bipolar, as the name indicates, the transistor is the best bipolar device. Okay, because the conduction in transistor will be taken place by the two types of carriers, both majority and minority. Whereas in unipolar, the conduction will be taking place only by majority carriers, that is only single carriers are responsible for the conduction. Okay, so bipolar, again it is classified into two types: saturated and non-saturated. So saturated means in this the transistors are operated in saturation mode. We all know that transistors has three regions in the output characteristics. Okay, one is cutoff, active, and saturation. So in that saturation mode, that is on mode, we call it as on mode. If the transistor is operated under saturation, it is called as on switch. And if the transistor is operated in cutoff mode, it is in off state. Okay, off switch. And if it is operated in active region, it is like operated as an amplifier. Okay, so in that saturation mode, so we have two types: saturated and non-saturated. So under saturation, we have around 6 logic devices. So that indicates that the type of components used in the logic are to represent that mic is on only. Is my voice not audible? Voice break. Yes, ma, it is audible. It seems. Please check your like you people also. Please check your internet connection, ma. It happens sometimes. Lagging. It happens sometimes. No problem. Okay. Okay, ma. So in that saturation, we have RTL. The next is DCTL, direct coupled transistor logic. Next, IIL, integrated injection logic. Next is DTL, diode transistor logic. Next is HTL, high threshold logic. And last one is TTL, transistor logic. And in non-TL and emitter coupled logic. And unipolar devices, as we all know, FETs and MOSFETs come under unipolar classification. Okay, so we will see one by one. In that, the main one is CMOS. So CMOS is a combination of NMOS and PMOS. Okay, so characteristics all we have seen. So fan in is the number of inputs a gate can handle. Fan out is the number of outputs, the number of other inputs, like the output of one gate. With that output, how many other gates it can drive. That is nothing but fan out. And noise margin is the amount of noise it can withstand without disturbing its output. Okay. And next is propagation delay. Propagation delay is how much time the device is or a gate is taking to change its transfer and low to high. Okay. Next. And CMOS, listen this, sorry, the entire logic family operation is dependent upon the transistor, because in all logic families we are using transistor. Okay, so listen very carefully. The first circuit I am explaining. Okay, if this clear, the operation of the logic families is very simple. Okay, so all of you look at this circuit. See, to the emitter of this transistor, we are connecting the supply voltage, that is, and so you all know when the transistor will be moving into conduction. So this base emitter voltage, this voltage, okay, the input we say should be greater or equal to here. So if the transistor is equal to or greater than 0.7 volts, then the transistor will be on. Okay, so this on state is called as saturation region or saturation mode. Means we say that transistor is operated under saturation mode. Okay, so now I'm telling the output now. So if the transistor is operated under on state, means if the transistor is in on state, okay, that is, if it is in saturation mode, what will be the output? Current. The current will be from VCC through RL through the MA, or like transistor from collector to emitter, and it will be moving to the ground current when the transistor is conducting. So output will be equal to what? Output will be equal to VCE sat, because the entire voltage drop will be available from resistor and the transistor, and the current will be flowing through resistor and transistor. The output voltage will be very, very small, that is equal to VCE sat. You should be remembering all these things, because we have studied all these things in the second unit when we were studying transistor CE configuration output characteristics. Okay, so when the transistor is on, output is equal to VCE sat. Remember this. So VCE sat value of any transistor is equal to 0.3 volts. I hope you remember this. VCE sat is equal to 0.3 volts. Okay, this is the standard value. Okay, because the transistor is conducting and the output E configuration, common emitter. Okay, so this is VCE voltage and this is IC output current. Okay, see, saturation means this mode. This is saturation part. Okay, see, the current will be very high in saturation and the voltage will be very small. So that voltage is nothing but equal to VCE sat. Remember this. The transistor output will be very, very less. That will be equal to VCE sat. Now, if the transistor is operated under off state, means this is cut off. Okay, cut off region. This is cut off region. So when the transistor will be in off, if this input voltage is less than 0.7 volts, that the cut-in voltage of the diode, because base emitter junction voltage is less than 0.7 volts, then the transistor will be driven into off state. Off state means it is operating off region. The transistor is in cutoff region, it will be like open circuit, means there is no conduction for the current to flow through the transistor. So this one, there is no circuit ahead, because this is off state, open. So the directly whatever VCC, generally VCC will be 5 volts. Okay, in general all text general we will be taking as 5 volts. So the total 5 volts will be available at the output, because there is no proper conducting path. So the total voltage we get, eliminating a small amount of voltage drop near resistor, the total voltage will be available at the output. So when the transistor is off, the output voltage is very, very high. That will be approximately equal to VCC. Okay. So remember this, if the transistor is operated under off state, output will be equal to VCC. And if the transistor is operated under on state, output will be equal to VCE sat. Okay, saturation value. Remember these 2 points. And if the transistor is in on state, okay, it is like saturation, it will be operated as a on switch. On switch. In saturation mode, transistor will be acting as a on switch. High amount of current will be available. See, in cutoff also you can see the voltage is very high, but the current is very, very small. Okay, so IC will be equal to 0 and VC will be equal to VCC. Okay, so 2 points you need to remember here, because the entire logic families work on it. If the transistor is operated under saturation, what is its output? What is the value of its output under saturation? Output will be equal to, yes, somebody answer. The transistor is operated under saturation region on state, output is equal to VC sat, that is 0.3 volts. For silicon we are saying ma, because in general we will talk about silicon transistor, silicon NPN transistor. So it is 0.3. Okay. Why only one person? What about rest? Okay. Now, if the transistor is operated under cutoff region, that is off state, what is its output voltage? Output voltage is equal to, yes ma, if the transistor is operated under cutoff VCC, yes. So yes, current will be under cutoff, current is very small, current is very less, approximately 0, and voltage is VCC. That whatever voltage supply voltage we give, that will be our output. Okay. So if you are clear with this, we'll move on to the next topic. Next, the first logic family that we are discussing is diode transistor logic. So here, as the name implies, this logic circuit or logic family uses diodes and transistors for its operation. Okay. So this it is a class of digital circuits, that is direct transistor of transistor main circuit. We are using in our today's technologies transistor logic. So before emerging this transistor, we were creating function like whatever logics that we are using, AND gate or gate formed by example. So you remember that logic function is being implemented by a network, is performed by a transistor. Okay, and the diode transistor logic, also termed as DTL, replaced RTL family because more margin. So these characteristics we will see later. Is my voice overlapping? Yes. Voice breaking. Is it audible or is it clear? Yes. Okay, ma. So DTL circuits mainly consist of diodes and transistors. Okay. See, nothing I have discussed. Just understand circuit is performed by the diode, and the amplifying function is performed by the transistor part. Okay, and the basic DTL device is NAND gate. Remember this. So for each family, one logic gate. Okay, so DTL, for DTL, the main logic device that we are using is the NAND gate. Okay, and so how many DTL? I'm repeating these points because at the end you will be ended up with so many logic families, and you will be confusing what points should be written for what logic family. Is done by function by transistor network, and it has greater fan out and more and very detailed design. Okay, now we will see the circuits. Okay, so till now we have seen AND gate, OR gate, like NOT gate, etc. All these gates, basic gates and universal gates, using as a symbolic form, and we have read its logic. Like AND means it does the multiplication operation, OR means it does the addition operation, etc. But here, using this DTL, using this logic families, we will implement the same gates using diodes and transistors. Okay, the same thing is being shown on the screen. Here, if you see, you can see a circuit using two diodes and a resistor, okay, which is connected in such a fashion that it will perform the operation of an AND gate. Okay, so AND gate. So AND gate truth table is written here. So AND gate is nothing but 0, 0, 0, means if any one of the input is 0, output is 0, and if output is 1, only if like all the inputs are 1. Okay, and you can see another truth table where high, low, low, high is being written. You might have a doubt like what are these high and low. See here, in performing the logic families in practical situations, we don't have like devices for generating zeros and ones. Okay, we have only devices for generating the DC voltages and the signals, sine wave, square wave, etc. Okay, so low, high, very good. Okay, see, low means 0 and high means 1. But practically, if I want to implement this circuit in a lab, in a circuits lab, then low will be given as what and high will be given as what? Some voltage we need to give, because here the supply voltage is also given as 5 volts. Now here I need to give some supply voltage for yes, for some supply voltage for this A and B also, which will be taken as logic 1 and which will be taken as logic 0. So here we are using positive logic. Remember this term, positive logic. Okay, positive logic means for 1 we will take as 5 volts, and for 5 volts. Okay, 0 will take it as 0. Okay, this is the positive logic. Negative logic means for 1 we will take 0, we will take 5 volts. So now here we are not using any negative supply. And logic 0 means we need to give a 0 volts supply. Okay, that's why it's written as low, high, low, high. Low means I need to give here volts. Okay, and high means we should give 5 volts. Okay, so you can make this using the components. You can get the X. So now I will explain the operation of this. See here, that is a D1 and D2 and a supply voltage is given to the two diodes to the anode diodes, and cathodes are given the in points. So we are the inputs given to the diodes D1 and D2, and they are connected to the cathode terminals of the diode. Okay, now suppose if you take 0 and 0. So what happens? The anode is given 5 volts and cathode given 0 volts. What happens to the diodes? They are forward biased. Okay, so if two diodes are conducting, current direction will be through the diodes. Okay, so output will be what? Nothing is there. The total voltage drop will be across diodes. Okay, so the output will be low. Yes, is my voice not clear? Yes. Mute yourself, Ma. Is it clear now? Yes, is it clear now? Mute yourself. Yes, who is that? Okay, the output will be equal to 0. Now, if A is 0 and B is 1, this diode D1 is forward biased. Okay, this is forward bias and current starts conducting through this diode. Okay, and this D2 means here 1 means we are giving 5 volts. Okay, so here also anode is also placed at 5 volts and cathode is also placed at 5 volts. It is nothing but zero bias, or we can also call it as no bias. So no bias state is nothing but reverse bias, we can say, and it acts as an open circuit path. So no conduction through this diode D2. Okay, so since one diode is conducting, the output is equal to 0 because we have very less output, less voltage drop across this output. The total current is flowing through the resistor R and D1, so output is equal to 0. Now, and same thing happens when this is 1 and this is 0. When A is 1 and B is 0, this diode D1 is reverse biased and the current starts flowing through D2. So output now also is equal to 0. Same thing. Now the case comes with when both are 1 and 1. If both are 1, that is both are given 5 volts, so both are reversed biased. Okay, so no conduction and they will act as an open circuit. So the total voltage will be available. The total supply voltage will be available at the output. Okay, like excluding some very less voltage drop across the resistor. The output will be approximately equal to like 5 volts. Okay, it will be like 4.4 and 4.5 volts. Okay, so hence the above threshold value above 3.5 will consider it as logic 1. So the output is equal to logic 1. Okay, so the next one is OR gate. So OR gate, the diodes are reversed and this resistor earlier in AND it was connected to the supply voltage, but here the resistor is grounded. Okay, so here also we will see the operation. If both the diodes, both the inputs are 0 and 0, then what happens? Anode is given 0 volts and the cathode is given also to the, it is grounded. See here. So it is also given to, we will take it as 0 volts. So both are 0 volts means no bias or it is treated as reverse bias. So what happens? Output is equal to 0. Okay, same thing you can see here. Okay, and suppose if we give 0 and 1, if we give 0 and 1, what happens? A0 and B1 means for B we are giving 5 volts. So anode to plus 5 volts and cathode to ground, that is 0 volts. Diode D2 is forward bias and it is conducting. And this D1 is reverse bias and it is not conducting. So this output, since diode D2 is conducting and the same thing is taken across the output terminal, so output is also equal to 1. See here, 0 and 1. Output is equal to 1. Next, if A is 1 and B is 0, now which diode is conducting? Diode D1 is forward bias and this diode is conducting and the current flows through diode D1 and diode D2 will be reverse bias and it acts as an open circuit. So output is equal to 1 or approximately like 4.6 volts, like that, approximately 5 volts. So it is taken as logic 1. And last case, both are 1 and 1. So both are forward bias. The current will be flowing through both the diodes and output is taken as 1. Output is also equal to 1. Okay, so 1 and 1, output is equal to 1. Okay, so this is about your OR DL gate. And next we will see NAND DTL. See here, it is a combination of diodes and a transistor. Okay, so just now I have explained how transistor, if transistor is in off state, then what will be the output, and if the transistor is in on state, what is the output? I have explained just now. The same logic works here. See here, if listen this carefully, very important, ma. See, as I have said, for the basic DTL device is NAND gate. So in examination also, if a question comes, explain DTL logic, then you should take this NAND circuit and explain its operation, because DTL means NAND gate. Okay, so listen this. So when both the inputs are 0 and 0, so here it is written in the fourth case, ma. You can see here, when A is 0, B is 0, then what happens? See, anodes are given to plus 5 volt supply, and cathodes are given to 0 and 0 volts. Okay, so here it is given to 5 volts. So both the diodes are on and the current starts flowing like this. This is the path. Okay, here, and both the diodes are conducting are D1 and D2. Okay, so if this transistor has to be driven into on state, what should be the cut-in voltage? What I should give? 0.7 volts. Just now I explained transistor as a switch. So the voltage that has to be given at the forward biased like input junction of a transistor, which should be equal to or greater than 0.7 volts. Then only the transistor will be on state. Or else it will be off. Since both the diodes are conducting, there is no enough voltage. Yes, mute yourself, ma. I don't know who is that. Yes. Okay. So if these two diodes are conducting, then the transistor is not getting enough voltage to make this transistor into on state, because the complete currents are going through the D1 and D2. Okay, and there is no enough voltage here. Okay, so the transistor will be in off state. Now just now I said if the transistor is in off, what will be its output voltage? Yes, anybody? Anybody? If the transistor is in off state, what is its output voltage? No, the transistor is in off state. Yes, it is VCC, 5 volts. Yes, 5 volts. So hence see the truth table, ma. See the truth table. So if both the inputs are 0 and 0, output is 5 volts. So why 5 volts? Since both, if 0 and 0 are given, then these two diodes are forward biased and they are conducting. So the complete current is flowing through D1 and D2. So there is no enough voltage available here at this junction to make this transistor into on. So this transistor moves into off state. So if the transistor is off, then the total VCC is available at the X output. Okay, so hence 0 and 0 input, output is equal to 5 volts, logic 1. Now you can see the other state also. If the one is 0 and the other is 1, same thing here. If any one diode is conducting, same thing happens. If any one diode is on, any one diode is conducting, the current will be flowing through that diode and there is no enough voltage drop at this junction. So the transistor will be in off state and output is equal to VCC. Okay, same thing happens here also. For 0 and 5 volts also you will get 5 volts. For 5 and 0 also you will get 5 volts. Now the point is when when both are 5 and 5, what happens? So when both are 1 and 1, that is both are given logic 5 volts, then both the diodes, see here, anode is also given with 5 volt supply and cathodes are also placed at 5 volt supply. So it is almost all equal to 0 bias and we will consider it as reverse bias. So both will be acting as an open circuited path. So no conduction takes place through the diodes D1 and D2. So the total VCC, whatever VCC that we are giving is available at the 5 volts available at this junction. Okay, so this junction 5 volts means it is far more than 0.7 volts. We want only 0.7 volts, but we are available with 5 volts. So the transistor will be easily moved into on state. So if the transistor is on, output is what? Tell me, if the transistor is on, What is the output? The transistor is on. What is the output voltage? We see SAT. That is 0.3 volts. Very good. Okay. So it is 0.3 volts. So hence output is equal to 0 volts. So less than 3 volts or 2.5 volts, we will take it as 0 volts. Okay, understood all of you? NAND DTL. The question comes in the exam. Explain the operation about diode transistor logic family. Then you need to take this circuit and explain its operation. Okay. And next one is, so the same operation is written in this slide. Okay, and the other one is NOR DTL. NOR DTL, same. This circuit is nothing but NOR circuit. This circuit is nothing but NOR circuit and followed by a transistor switch. Okay, this is OR followed by NOT. That's all. Combination of both the circuits means transistor as a switch can also be called as a NOT gate. Okay, so combination of OR circuit plus NOT circuit is nothing but NOR. So see the operation. When A is equal to 0, already we have seen OR gate. OR gate we have already seen. If both are 0 and 0, then the anodes are given at 0 volts and cathodes are given to negative minus VB. Here, the transistor, this minus VB supply is given to the transistor as well as it is given to the OR gates also. To keep the transistor originally in off state, this negative supply is given, ma. Okay, this negative supply is given initially to keep the transistor in off state. Okay, so you can see the first condition. If A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 0, then anodes are 0 and cathodes are also 0, we can say negative supply. So both the diodes are off. Okay, and no conduction takes place and transistor, the base is already driven to minus VB. Okay, so transistor will also be in off state. So no current flows through RC, and since if the transistor is in off state, it acts as a open circuit path. So the total VCC is available at the output. Okay, so that is what it is happening. 0 and 0, it is 5 volts. Now if you take the second case for 0 and 1, 0 and 1, then what happens? See, the diode D2 is forward bias because anode is given to 5 volts and cathode is given to minus VB. Okay, negative. D2 positive, N2 negative. So it is forward biased. D2 is forward biased and D1 is reverse biased. There is no path here. Okay, so since D2 is conducting, the voltage is available at the transistor. 5 volts is given to D2, which is available directly to the transistor base. Okay, so the transistor will be driven into on state. So if the transistor is on, what is the output voltage? It is equal to VC SAT, that is equal to 0.3 volts. It is given here. Okay, 0.3 means logic 0. Okay, same thing reverse, 1 and 0. 1 and 0 also same thing. Now this diode D1 conducts and D2 will be off. Okay, so any one diode is conducting, so the transistor will be getting enough base drive to move into on state. Here also the transistor is in on state and the output will be equal to VC SAT 0.3 volts. Okay, so which is nothing but logic 0. Now both are 5 volts, 1 and 1. Okay, so both the diodes are in on state. So both the diodes are conducting. The transistor is on. Okay, and output is equal to VCE SAT. Okay, this is NOR DTL. Have you all understood this? Have you all understood, ma? DTL part. Next, I'm moving into RTL logic family. Okay. Next comes the RTL. Okay. So the basic RTL, device is NOR gate. The basic RTL device is NOR gate. The inputs represent either logic level high or low. Okay, so here there is a circuit. Okay, so the operation of the circuit is written here, ma. You remember this point? The basic RTL device is NOR gate. So in RTL device, we are using resistors and transistors. Okay, so here is a circuit shown. See here, there are two transistors. So RTL is a combination of resistors and transistors. Okay, so input is given to the two resistors R1 and R2. Okay, and through R1 it is connected to transistor Q1, and through R2 it is connected to transistor Q2. Okay, and NOR means what, ma? NOR means X plus Y whole complement. Okay, so it is written here. Now if you give 0 and 0, what is your NOR gate? NOR gate means, just now we have seen, for 0 0 it is 5 volts, for rest all the inputs it is 0 volts. Okay, so if input is 0 and 0, if X is equal to 0 and Y is equal to 0, then both the transistors, 0 means it is less than 0.7 volts. So if you want to make a transistor into on, its voltage level should be greater than 0.7 volts. But here we are having only 0 volts. So both the transistors are in off state. Okay, both the transistors are in off state. So if both the transistors are off, it acts as an open circuited path. So the total VCC is available at the output. So output is equal to approximately 5 volts. Okay, so 5 volts means logic 1. See, you can see the truth table. For 0 and 0 it is 5 volts. And next case, second case, for 0 and 1. So this transistor is off. Okay, this transistor is off and acts as an open circuit, but the transistor Q2 will be in on state. Okay, so on state means this transistor starts conducting and the current will be flowing through R3 and transistor Q2 towards ground. Okay, like this. This is the conducting path. Okay, so there will be voltage drop across R3, Q2, etc. So the value, if the transistor is on and the output is also taken across collector of Q2, if transistor is on, what is its output voltage? VCE SAT, 0.3 volts. Okay, so VCE SAT means 0.3 means it is equal to approximately equal to 0 volts. Okay, so for rest all the three condition it is 0 volts. And next case for 190 also same thing happens. This transistor will be off and this transistor is conducting and the current will be flowing through R3 Q1 through ground. Okay, and since output is also taken from the collector of Q1, okay, so output is equal to VCE SAT. Okay, so it is approximately equal to 0 and 0. Next, for 1 and 1 also, both the transistors are conducting. Okay, so and both the transistors are conducting and output is connected to both the collectors. So it is also equal to 0 volts. 0 volts means approximately 0 volts, it is 0.3 volts, which is equal to logic 0. Okay, so this is about RTL NOR gate circuit. So here are some advantages of RTL. The primary advantage of RTL technology was that it involved minimum number of transistors. Means the same operation we have got with minimum number of transistors. So this is the main advantage, and the disadvantage of RTL is high current dissipation. Okay, so this is the disadvantage. And the next case is RTL NAND gate. Okay, so NAND gate means outputs are for all, if any one of the input is 0, the output is high. Okay, and if both the inputs are high, output is 0. So see here, if inputs are 0 and 0, then the transistors are off. So since they are connected in series, the complete path is not in a conducting way. Okay, so both the transistors are off, so output is equal to 5 volts VCC. Okay, this one. Next, if 0 and 1, this transistor is on, T2 is on, but T1 is off. But this transistor is off, so there is no conducting path for T2 because it should pass through T1. So this is open. Okay, so if this is open, it is no use of being T2 on. The complete path is being open circuited. So output is equal to 5 volts, the second case. Now the third case, 1 and 0. This transistor is on now and the second transistor is off. So this creates an open circuited path. So there is no proper conducting path for T1. So it is like as the complete path is being open circuited. So here also output is equal to 5 volts. Now if both are 1 and 1, so both the transistors are conducting. Now we have a proper conducting path. So current will be flowing through T1 R, T1 and T2. So if the both the transistors are on, the collector is taken across the like output is taken across the collector of T1. So it is equal to VC SAT, that is 0.3 volts. Okay, so the next one, TTL. Okay, transistor logic, it is also called as T square L. So here just go through the points. TTL family is a modification of DTL and it has come to existence so as to overcome the speed limitations of DTL family. So in DTL family the diodes are used and they are being little bit slow as compared to transistors. So those diodes are replaced with transistors. And TTL is so named because of its dependence on transistors alone to perform the basic operation. Okay, so we are using only transistors in TTL logic. Neither like no diodes are being used. And the third point, the TTL uses transistors operating in saturated mode. Saturated mode is on switch. And the basic gate of this family is TTL NAND gates. Listen ma, everyone just remember these underlined points because they are very important for your objective exams and all. Okay, so the basic gate of this family is NAND gate. For DTL, the basic gate is NAND, and for RTL, the basic gate is NOR, and for TTL, the basic gate is NAND again. And the characteristics we will see in the classification table, ma. So later I'll explain. Now you see here, this is the basic TTL circuit diagram, NAND circuit diagram. Very, very important question. In almost all the examinations, you will get this question. Explain about the TTL NAND gate circuit along with its advantages and disadvantages. Okay, very, very important circuit, ma. Just go through the circuit. The circuit is divided into 3 parts. Okay, so here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 transistors, and out of these 4 transistors, one transistor is a peculiar one. Okay, peculiar one in the sense it is having 2 emitters. Okay, it is having 2 emitters. So this transistor Q1 is called as a multi-emitter transistor. Yes, there are transistors with multi-emitters. So here we are using a multi-emitter, and the second set of this 2 resistors and the transistor Q2. This is called as a phase splitter. This circuit is called as a phase splitter, and this transistor, a combination of transistor Q3 and Q4 is called as totem pole logic. So here it is written totem pole arrangement. The combination of Q3 and Q4 is called as a totem pole arrangement. Okay, so what is the use of this totem pole? I'll explain. See here, there are 2 diodes also, ma, D1 and D2. So the importance of this diode is, if input by mistake or due to any reason, if input is available with the negative spikes like this, if suppose due to any reason, if a negative spikes come at input of X and Y, then these diodes will be forward bias and they conduct, and those negative spikes are being grounded. So this will prevent the damage of the transistor. So that is the purpose of placing these 2 diodes. You can see the arrangement also. If a negative spikes comes, the 2 diodes will be forward bias and conducting. So the negative spikes go to the ground, is terminated towards the ground. Okay, now I'll explain the operation and this totem pole logic. Yes, Q3, combination of Q3 and Q4 is called as a totem pole logic because if at a time only one transistor will be on. If Q3 is on, Q4 will be off, and if Q4 will be on, Q3 will be off. Okay, like opposite. If one is on, the other will be off. That also why I'll explain. See here, now we'll see the operation of this. Listen carefully, all of you. See here, when inputs like X and Y are taken as 0, like 5 volts, 1 and 1. If both are taken as 1 and 1, that is, if X and Y given are 5 volts, then if these are given to the emitters of the transistor Q1, and you can also see the base is also given with 5 volts. So what happens? Both are 5 volts. Okay, diode, 0 bias. We can say this as 0 bias. Okay, so the transistor Q1 will be off state. If Q1 is off, its collector will be how much? If Q1 is off, collector will be available with VCC. So if collector voltage, but this collector of Q1 is given, is driving the base of Q2. Means the base of Q2 is having a supply of VCC, 5 volts. Okay, so what happens to Q2? Q2 will be in on state. Q2 will be in on state. If Q2 is on, then what is its collector? Its collector will be VCE sat. VCE sat. Okay, so VCE sat means 0.3 volts. So 0.3 volts is driving the base of Q3. So this 0.3 is less than 0.7 volts, which is required to make Q3 to on. So Q3 will be in off state. Q3 will be in off state. If Q3 is off, then there is a diode here. If this is off, then the diode is there, which is making this Q4 to on state. Because if Q3 is off, its VCC will be how much? Its collector will be maintained at VCC, very high voltage, 5 volts, and emitter will be approximately equal to collector. So this emitter voltage will also be equal to 5 volts, and there is a diode. So this diode conducts, and this is also available for the collector of Q4. Okay, so collector of Q4 is VCC, then it is said that the Q4 will be on state. Or else you can also say that if Q2 is on, then its emitter value is very, very less, because its collector value is very less. Okay, so very less, it is approximately equal to VCE sat. Okay, so this base emitter of Q4 is also equal to 0.3. Okay, so that also you can say. Understood, ma? So if both are 1 and 1, the output is equal to, see, output is taken across collector of Q4. This is your output terminal. Collector of Q4, output is taken. Okay, so if transistor Q4 is on, its collector will be equal to VCE sat. So which is equal to 0.3 volts. So which is approximately equal to 0. So we'll see the truth table of NAND. So when 1 and 1 are given, output is equal to 0. See here, when 1 and 1, 5 volts and 5 volts are given, output is equal to 0 volts. Don't get confused, ma. Very simple. See, if one, I am explaining once again. If X and Y are 1 and 1, then this Q1 is off, because the base emitter junction is reverse bias, because emitter is also given 5 volts and base is also given 5 volts, because base is tied to VCC. Since both are given 5 volts, zero bias. Zero bias means reverse bias. So Q1 is off. Q1 is off. So its collector of an off transistor is VCC. So VCC is available to Q2. So Q2 will be in on state. And if Q2 is on, its collector is very less, 0.3, which is less than 0.7 to drive Q3 to on. So Q3 will be off. If Q3 is off, these are totem pole logic, opposite. If one is off, the other will be on. So Q3 is off means Q4 will be on. If Q4 is on, its collector is very less. That is VCE sat, 0.3. I'll explain the other case. You will be clear. Okay, now I'll give 0 and 0. I'll take the second case, ma. See, if X is 0 and Y is 0. If X is 0 and Y is 0, then what happens? Here, emitters are 0 and the base is 5 volts. Okay, so here you can say that this is forward bias. Okay, so forward bias means Q1 will be in on state. Okay, earlier both the bias was same, so it was in off state. Now input emitters are given 0 and base is given 5 volts. Now Q1 will be in on state, because this base emitter junction will be forward bias. Now if Q1 is on, its VCE sat will be equal to, the collector will be equal to VCE sat. Okay, so if this is equal to VC set, what happens to Q2? It is less than 0.7. So Q2 will be off state. Q2 will be off state. So if Q2 is off, its collector is equal to VCC. So VCC is large enough to drive Q3 to on. So Q3 will be on. So if Q3 is on, Q4 will be off because both are totem pole logic. Okay, so if Q4 is off, its collector is equal to VCC. As simple as that. Okay, see now. So if both are 0, what is the output of NAND? Both are 0, output of NAND is high, 5 volts. Okay. Have you all understood, ma? TTL NAND, very important one. Have you all understood this TTL NAND? Okay, fine. Now see the advantages of TTL logic families. It has a strong drive capability and it is least susceptible to electrical damage and requires only one supply voltage. Okay, it is less immune to noise as compared to other devices and fast saturation and low output impedance. Okay, and the disadvantages is it dissipates lot of power. Okay, and not recommended for the VLSI chips because we are using more it requires more space and expensive compared to MOSFETs. But eliminating the disadvantages, TTL's advantages are more as compared to other gates. Okay, so generally we will use TTL only. And next is emitter coupled logic. Okay, so this comes under non-saturated family classification of logic families. So ECL logic family implements the gates in differential amplifier configuration in which transistors are never driven into saturation region. That's why it is called as non-saturated classification and thereby improving the speed of the circuit to a great extent. The ECL family is the fastest of all logic families and ECL behaves as a NOR gate. And the main advantage of ECL is, remember this, it is highest speed in operation. Okay, so fastest of all the logic family is ECL. Remember this point. Okay. And the fan out is better than TTL logic family. And the disadvantage is noise immunity is very, very less and highest power consumption. Okay, and loading, the capacitive loading reduces the fan out capacity. Okay, so this is about ECL. And next is complementary CMOS. Complementary CMOS is nothing but it is a combination of NMOS and PMOS. MOSFETs we have already discussed. CMOS is a combination, like if you want to construct a CMOS circuit, we will be using both NMOS and CMOS. Okay, both NMOSFET and PMOSFET will be used in series path and given as input, okay, to CMOS. So see here, the considerably low energy consumption than TTL and ECL, which has made portable electronics possible. So nowadays we are using CMOS technology as compared to TTL. So earlier TTL was used, now CMOS, MOS technology is being used and most widely used family for large scale devices. Okay, so because of this CMOS technology only, our integration is becoming more and more from VLSI to ULSI, etc. and combines high speed with low power consumption and usually operates from a single supply of 5 to 15 volts and excellent noise immunity of about 30% of supply voltage and can be connected to a large number of gates above 50. Means its output of CMOS can be given to another 50 gates, to drive another 50 gates. Okay, and next is high threshold logic. So here it is a different version of diode transistor logic, which is used in such environments where noise is very high. If noise content is very high, we will go for high threshold logic, and the threshold values at the input to the logic gate determine whether a particular input is interpreted as logic 0 or logic 1. So that's what I said. If the output voltage is greater than 3.5 volts, we will take it as logic 1, and if it is less than that, we will take it as 0 volts. See here, anything less than 1 volt is taken as logic 0 in high threshold logic. Okay, and anything above 3 volts is taken as logic 1. And in this example, the threshold voltages are 1 volt and 3 volts. So this condition applies for high threshold logic. And high threshold logic uses Zener diodes to create large offset between logic 1 and logic 0 voltage levels. Okay, and these devices usually ran off 15 volts power supply, and were found mostly high threshold logic families or logic devices are used in industrial control, where high differentials was intended to minimize the effect of noise. Okay, and the advantages is increased noise margin, spike control, and high noise threshold value. And disadvantages is we will be using high value resistors, and power will be used more, and extension, and it is mostly used in industrial environments, not for domestic purpose, and heavy process machinery. So generally we don't use high threshold logic. Okay, and this is the classification of all the logic gates. So this table gives the complete information what all we have seen till now. So DTL, HTL, TTL, RTL, ECL, MOS and CMOS. So all the basic gates, positive logic we are using, I said already. So for DTL it is NAND, HTL is NAND, TTL is also NAND. For RTL it is NOR, and ECL is OR NOR, and for MOS and CMOS it is NAND, and for CMOS again we have NOR. And fan out, the fan out figures are also given. So the highest fan out is for CMOS, it is greater than 15. The total power dissipation is very, this power dissipation should be as less as possible. So this is less for CMOS. You can see 0.01, very important one. And noise immunity is very, very good for HTL. You can see here it is excellent for HTL. And propagation delay is very, very high for MOS devices. Okay, it takes much time for the change in the transition in the output. Okay, and the clock rate, frequency is very high for ECL. That's why we call it as a fastest switch, high speed. Okay, and you can have many number of functions. So it is for DTL we have many number of functions you can interpret using DTL. Okay, very high. And also for TTL and ECL also it is very high, and also RTL. Okay, so this completes your unit 3. Okay, logic families. So if you have any doubts, and from next class tomorrow ma'am will start the 4th unit. So if you have any doubts, ma. Yes. So you can start your quiz now. So yesterday many students have not attempted the quiz. I don't know why. Okay. So these marks, let me remind you, these marks will be considered as your assignment marks for the second mid. Okay, and I better tell you the total average will be, the total internal marks will be taken as the average of 2 mids. Okay, so each and every mark will be considered. So all of you attempt the quiz. Quiz is very easy. So I am starting the quiz now.